championship merch.
Also, egg hunt skyrocketing prices, and now a shortage is leaving customers scrambling, and several retailers putting limits on just how much you can buy. But first, here's up the closing bell on Wall Street. Stocks rose today as major tech companies outperformed to start the week.
Sponsored locally by American Heritage Credit Union, celebrating 75 years of giving back. 10-day weather on NBC 10, sponsored by Rand and Mike Spear, the accident lawyers. Demand Rand.
I'm a club volleyball player, and I'm pretty good at it. You know, ball's in the corner, and I fling myself, and I get it up. Everybody's cheering. It just feels so good. But when my feet hurt, it sucks. And it feels like both my sides are just, like, coming up, and they're just ripping the middle of it. I told my mom, and she took me into Good Feet, and now I could just run without thinking that my foot's tearing in half. It's way better. My name's Taylor, and that's my Good Feet story.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Perfect for Valentine's. Love bracelets, $1.99. 1-carat heart solitaires or studs, $5.99. 2-carat, $11.90. 1-carat bands, $6.99. 5-carat lab diamonds, $39.90. Guaranteed the lowest price. The Jewelry Exchange, Norristown.
Giving seniors the care they need isn't easy, so some people lower the bar. If families see warning signs of abuse or neglect, it's time to call Rosenbaum Injury Law. Let me tell you, nothing stops bad care like a good lawyer.
When it comes to remodeling your bath, there's fact and there's fiction. Fiction. Some bath remodels just cover up water damage. Fact. Bathfitter inspects and cleans your current bath, and we make any necessary repairs before installing our product for a watertight fit. Bathfitter's been around for 40 years. Our showers and tub solutions are built to last, with a lifetime warranty to fit your expectations. Bathfitter, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Count on NBC 10 to give you more of the local stories that matter to you.
More news in more places when you want it, so you're more prepared.
More help when you need it.
I am so happy that I called, and I really appreciate you guys.
The most accurate forecast from your First Alert weather team for your neighborhood.
Always get more, anytime, anywhere with NBC 10. Count on it.
Country superstar and The Voice coach Kelsea Ballerini is performing at the Wells Fargo Center tonight. Her live on tour Stop showcases her new album Patterns. And if you're not going to the show, you can watch her tonight on The Voice as the blind auditions continue.
The newest coach is on a learning curve with the show, but she's fitting right in. NBC's Mark Barger has details.
This is real life.
Voice contestants were not the only ones in a bit of disbelief as the new season started.
I was really scared. Like, I wish I could tell you that I walked onto set and was like, here I am. No, I was so nervous.
Kelsea Ballerini is the newbie alongside Voice veterans Adam Levine, Michael Bublé, and John Legend.
It took me a second, if I'm honest, because I'm a fangirl and I grew up on their music, more or less. To be in a seat next to them and then have to fight them for artists, I'm like, part of me is like, fair enough, I get it. I would pick Team Legend too, you know?
But the country star has proven a quick study.
There's no one that knows what it is like to be a woman in Nashville. Yeah, except for a woman in Nashville. Being kind of a newer artist on this panel and being the only girl on this panel, I feel like it helped me find my edge.
Something that's helped against her rivals.
It's just like three big brothers. It really is.
And also, as she's hit the road this winter.
It's my first big girl tour. I mean, it's my first arena tour. And I feel like I've been dreaming up versions of what this could be since I was 13.
Now Ballerini can try to help the dreams of others come true.
You want to be able to give whoever is in front of you something valuable and helpful.
And maybe enough to win The Voice. Mark Barger, NBC News.
And don't miss another round of auditions on The Voice tonight at 8, followed by the hunting party at 10. Then be sure to join us for NBC 10 News at 11.
And as promised, the championship Eagles have landed at Philly International. Let's take a live look at the plane that has just touched down. And as we've shown you, there are fans waiting there to cheer them on. There are fans waiting at the NovaCare complex. We'll continue to follow this for you so you can see your Super Bowl winning Eagles.
NBC 10's First Alert Weather, your morning's most accurate forecast. Count on it.
When our clean, shiny truck arrives at your house, it's the sign of a new beginning. 1-800-GOT-JUNK is full-service junk removal. When your home feels clean and happy, the people inside feel clean and happy too. We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Philadelphia Ballet's Swan Lake makes its return to the Academy of Music. Set to Tchaikovsky's timeless score. Experience this moonlit journey of passion, magic, and romance. On stage March 6th through 16th. Get your tickets today at philadelphiaballet.org.
When tragedy strikes, strike back.
Don't accept the unacceptable.
What you need is a fighter. There's no one we won't take on.
Because we have the experience, we have the talent, we have the track record. We fight for you.
Because you deserve it.
When our clean, shiny truck arrives at your house, it's the sign of a new beginning. 1-800-GOT-JUNK is full-service junk removal. When your home feels clean and happy, the people inside feel clean and happy too. We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Count on NBC 10 First Alert Weather for the most reliable forecast, no matter where you are. Neighborhood weather and 10-day forecasts from the most accurate team in town 9 years in a row. When it comes to severe weather, count on a team that gets it right. NBC 10 First Alert Weather. Count on it.
All this month, discover Black heritage with NBC 10. At National Floors Direct, we make it simple. We give you 3 rooms of carpet, next day installation, padding, everything for just $10.88 with no interest for a full year. Call National Floors Direct, 888-400-4. We'll bring the store to your door.
At Closets by Design, we make custom affordable.
Their designer created a space for everything that I had in my old closet and so much more.
Take 40% off plus an extra 15% off. Call 1-800-BY-DESIGN or visit closetsbydesign.com.
This is NBC 10 News.
For the second time, the Vince Lombardi Trophy is headed to Philadelphia. Eagles fly in Super Bowl 59.
We cannot get enough of that. The Eagles are Super Bowl champions once again, and the celebrations are just beginning after the Birds put a beat down on the Chiefs. It's time for a parade. So make your plans to be on Broad Street this Friday. Right now, we are waiting for the Eagles to arrive. Here's a live look from the airport where fans have been gathering this afternoon to welcome them home. The team has touched down, as you can see, and we're going to bring more to you on this as the players get off live when it happens. Birds fans were in line bright and early at the Pro Shop at Lincoln Financial Field. A wave of fans rushed inside to grab all the newest Super Bowl championship gear. Right now, they mainly have T-shirts and hats for sale, but the Eagles say more will be added throughout the week. And for some, the Birds' Super Bowl victory won't really sink in until you see those hats and shirts with the word champions printed on them. Makes it real.
Yeah, that's key. You can expect to see a lot of people wearing it everywhere in the coming days, months, years. NBC 10's Deanna Durante is live inside the Eagles Pro Shop at the Metroplex in Plymouth Meeting. Deanna?
Hey, bragging rights. This is important here, and we as a city have certainly earned it. Sure, you can have the Super Bowl 59 hats, or you can have the ones that say the Eagles are the Super Bowl world champions. And people are showing up here to buy these things as well as everything else they need to show their team pride.
Fly Eagles fly, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Eagles. We got hats. We got shirts.
Ooh,
go Birds. Let's
go.
Let's go.
Go Birds. G-L-E-S Eagles.
Super Bowl champs.
Before the Lombardi Trophy was presented, fans were flocking to stores to get that Super Bowl winning gear.
We were going to raid the streets. We played it smart.
By shopping in Willow Grove at Rally House, where fans packed the store in line so long, they wrapped around the inside.
After that performance last night, I'm going to buy plenty of stuff.
Go Birds! Inside the Eagles Pro Shop in Plymouth meeting today, hats, shirts, jerseys.
I got to have the shot glass.
They've got it all. And the fans who may have had Super Bowl gear already are back for more. You already have your Super Bowl shirt on. You need more.
Yes, I need lots more. I needed to say champion.
You don't think people know?
They know, but I need to know.
They need to know. You know why? Because it's a big world out there. There are Dallas fans. There are New York fans. Right here, hot item. This is the Super Bowl championship locker room shirt. Yeah, this is the shirt they handed out to the players right after they won the Super Bowl. So we've learned that although there are a lot of things for you to choose from here, there's going to be much more coming in all week long, so you can get out as decked out as you want for that parade come Friday. That's the very latest in Plymouth meeting. Deanna Durante, NBC 10 News.
Oh, and I know our fans will. We will all be decked out in it. Deanna, thank you.
Right now, we want to go to the live pick. The Super Bowl champions have arrived. You are looking at the American Airlines jet with our Super Bowl Eagles champions on board. It is going to be so great for them to step foot here. One thing to win it and be there. They were considered the home team, welcoming the Chiefs, even though it was held in New Orleans. But nothing like coming back here and to be able to celebrate with all of your family, all your friends, and your loved ones.
And they always know that they have the backing of, we have such an incredible fan base, right? And everybody says that. We're the greatest fans in the world. Nobody likes us. We don't care.
Right.
We are passionate. And then to have them come back with such a decisive win. I mean,
right.
At halftime, we were screaming. At halftime, the city was making noise.
They were already going out to Broad Street at halftime. But a lot of people were saying that, look, if you let the Kansas City Chiefs get within 7 points, then they could run away with this and Patrick Mahomes could catch up. But they took that commanding lead early and got way out ahead.
Neil Fisher is out there as we are seeing the buses roll up. Neil?
Hey guys, the Super Bowl champions are here. They are about to get off, and the door to the plane carrying the world champions has opened. And here they come. The Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles have returned to Philadelphia. As you can see, the buses are pulling up. Eagles fans are here as well. And this is such an exciting moment for these Eagles fans. To see the birds come off the plane after a tremendous victory last night in New Orleans. So much excitement. There is the Lombardi Trophy right there being carried off the plane and back here to Philadelphia after a few years. It's a great sight here as fans take in this moment. Some I talked to were here the last time the Eagles brought the championship. As you can see, the Lombardi Trophy being hoisted up into the air here in Philadelphia. It's a great feeling. Fans are going nuts. And of course, there's plenty of Eagles chants from these fans. A few hundred people out here welcoming the Philadelphia Eagles, the Super Bowl champions, back to Philadelphia. It's a little different than in 2018 when the Eagles won the championship, brought it back here to Philly. The fans were actually able to walk up to the fence, and they were greeted by some of the players. This year, Philadelphia police has asked that the fans not go up to the fence, so we would assume that some players might not actually walk over to the fence. But as you can see, they are coming off the plane here, back home in Philadelphia. The buses are here as well. We've seen as they chant, "Bring that trophy." We were told that was the chant in 2018 when the team got off the plane, and that's what we're seeing right now. They brought over the trophy in 2018. The fans, of course, hoping that the Lombardi Trophy comes back over to the fence so they can get a great look at it. A gentleman I spoke with earlier brought his grandkids. He said he wanted everyone in his family to see this moment. And that's what they're doing right now, taking in this moment like every other Philadelphian and everyone across the region watching the Eagles come off this plane here in Philadelphia, guys.
Yes, we can see, Neil, how those fans are at a distance. So it'll be curious to see whether or not the Eagles walk over to that fencing, because this is markedly different from what it was in 2018.
But how great is that to see Jeffrey Lurie walk up and walk out and hoist the trophy, and then he gives it Howie Roseman, Nick Sirianni holds it up.
It must feel so good, even though we know they likely didn't get any sleep last night.
Oh, yeah.
We saw them in the locker room very late.
Oh, my gosh. Are they walking
cheering.
over?
Maybe so.
Maybe so.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Well, it sounds
As
like
you can see, the
everyone's-
police are giving them a little room right now. And it looks like some of the players, I'm going to walk over there, guys. Everybody else is walking over there. I'm going to walk over there as well, see who we can see. It's really a great environment here as fans have come up to the gate now. And you can see the Lombardi trophies right in front of me. The Philadelphia Eagles, the Super Bowl champions, have the Lombardi trophy, and they are holding it up here against the fence. It's Jeffrey Lurie. Jeffrey Lurie is holding up the Lombardi trophy right in front of these dedicated, die-hard fans. He's waving to the crowd, holding up the Lombardi trophy. He's brought it back to Philadelphia after a wonderful victory. Nick Sirianni is here as well. He holds up the Lombardi trophy. Victory is ours. He's looking these Eagles fans in the faces with a smile on his face. And Howie Roseman, the man who orchestrated this whole team, is here hoisting that Super Bowl trophy, the Lombardi trophy. What a great atmosphere as fans get to see this so close in person. I talked to a fan earlier who told me that this was so much better parade because they actually got an up-close look. As you see, Big Dom has the trophy right now, holding it up for these fans. It's very difficult to see actually through this crowd of Eagles fans, but they are hoisting the Super Bowl trophy, the Lombardi trophy, up right in front of these fans. This is truly a moment that these fans will remember forever. Many fans bringing generations of their family down here to the airport to see this special moment, as of course fans chanting the Eagles chant as some of the top brass of the Philadelphia Eagles walk back towards the buses. But what an unbelievable moment for these Philadelphia Eagles fans to see the Super Bowl champions back here in Philadelphia. What an unbelievable moment. What are they? What are they?
The Super Bowl Eagle champions!
Super Bowl champions. That's the feeling here. It's fantastic. These fans got such an up-close and personal look at the Lombardi trophy. So many smiles on Eagles fans' faces. Really a moment that they will remember forever by being here. There's only a few hundred people here at the airport watching the Super Bowl champions come off the plane, and they got an up-close and personal look at the Lombardi trophy being hoisted up by Howie Roseman, by Jeffrey Lurie, and of course, head coach Nick Sirianni. As Jeffrey Lurie blows a kiss to the Eagles fans, the fans, of course, who have supported him and his team for so long this season after the early ups and downs, but they battled through, and they are the Super Bowl champs. Guys.
Oh my gosh, how classy and how nice. Such respect for all of the fans who have come out. We always say how passionate we are. Well, we know the leadership of the Eagles and the players are passionate about the fans. They have great respect for the fans. They could have just as easily gotten on those buses, but they came over to show that 100, 200 fans an up-close and personal look at that beautiful, shiny Lombardi trophy.
Just as much as the Eagles fans want to say thank you to their athletes, right there, case in point of how much the athletes wanted to say thank you to the huge fan base that got them through those tough times, those difficult weeks, and helped them get to this point. Returning now in Philadelphia from New Orleans, Super Bowl champions. Stopping, though, in Orlando, Florida, because, you know, we heard Jalen Hurts say,
That's right.
what are you doing now? He says, I'm going to Disney World. And actually, prior to arriving back here in Philadelphia, they did indeed stop at Magic Kingdom. And now they're back home and they can celebrate with all of their loved ones here.
And their next stop is the NovaCare Complex, where there is another gathering of Eagles fans. And we are there live as well, and we'll continue to follow them as we welcome them home. It sounds so good to say, the Super Bowl champions, Eagles.
Yes.
Well, last night's win was historic for the Eagles in several ways. Saquon Barkley set a record for the most rushing yards in a single season.
And offensive lineman Jordan Mailata became the first Australian to win a Super Bowl. We're going to have more on that in just a moment as we continue to look at South Philadelphia, as the players will get on buses and then head off to the NovaCare Complex. And we saw a lot of these players in post-game interviews, and for the first time, I actually saw an emotional Jalen Hurts. Many people talk about how stoic he always is, and throughout the entire season, we saw him very focused. And after each game, regardless of how wonderful the win was, he said, we're still looking ahead. We're not finished yet. We still have more work to do. And then last night, when a reporter asked him about the tough road ahead, even going back to his college days and those challenging times, and then 2 years ago, the disappointment, losing the Super Bowl, then again against the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's the moment where Jalen Hurts, you could see visibly, he was very touched and emotional by that and had to pause and collect himself. But that was so honest. And then an embrace, a really lengthy embrace with his father there on the field after he won the Super Bowl.
Well, it's interesting that he has talked a lot about how adversity can shape you. And Coach Sirianni has talked a lot about how adversity can shape you. And, you know, the coach talked about how it shapes people as individuals, but then also as the team, and how in a weird way, they were glad for last year, as painful as it was, but that they learned so much and they grew closer. If you're just tuning in, we've just watched the Eagles land at Philly International, get off the plane and board buses. And there's a whole big crowd there welcoming them home, and they got a chance to see the Lombardi Trophy. Nick Sirianni came over with it. Jeffrey Lurie came over with it. Thanking fans. Everyone's very excited. And this is just a fraction of what we're going to see for the parade on Friday.
That is going to be an amazing sight. And everyone was talking about how difficult it would be to go up against Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey. Patrick Mahomes saying he knew Jalen would be back 2 years ago. He said, I know Jalen is going to be back, and he knew there was the likelihood that they would face each other. And everyone thought it was going to be a lot closer than it was last night, except for the Eagles. John Clark was saying the defense knew they were going to run away with this. They had that much confidence prior to the game.
Yeah, they've all, in post-game interviews, a lot of them talked about the very specific preparation to go up against the Chiefs. And so they really, really were focused in on what they needed to do. And you're right. So everybody thought, well, this is going to be a very close game. Who knows? You know, I think it was really nice when a lot of people chose the Eagles. I was like, okay, but you know, we don't mind being in the underdog position. We were good with that. But then when we got to halftime and Mahomes had 23 yards and Eagles had 24 points, you're like, whoa, I don't know what's happening, but I like it. I am here for it.
Yes. No one was expecting that, especially after 2 years ago when it was a field goal that won the game. So people were expecting that. And all season, the Eagles had not gone up against the Chiefs. They hadn't played them. So Patrick Mahomes hadn't dealt with Saquon Barkley with the Eagles, that combination of Jalen and Saquon. And so they really tried to cover Barkley because we know how dominant he's been all season, but we still had so many other weapons to go to, leading to the victory last night.
Yeah, let's go back to Neil Fisher. He is there with all the fans at Philly International who just got to see that trophy up close and personal. Neil?
Yeah, it was a really great experience for the fans that actually got up close and personal to the fence. They saw head coach Nick Sirianni. They saw Howie Roseman. They saw Jeffrey Lurie hoist the Super Bowl trophy, that Lombardi trophy, up in the air after that victory. Dominant performance over the Kansas City Chiefs last night. Some of the fans are still waiting around, hoping to get a glimpse of some of the Philadelphia Eagles players. But as we've seen, some players are heading on to the buses very quickly. This is about 50 yards or so from where the buses are to where this fence is. Some of the fans actually didn't get a chance to see the Lombardi Trophy because police had said beforehand that they were not going to allow anyone to get up close next to the fence. But of course, when the Eagles landed, these fans rushed right towards them because that's what they do. So passionate, so excited to see their birds land here. Mike, I spoke with you earlier. Let me ask you about what that feeling was like. Did you see the Lombardi Trophy?
Yes, I did. It was awesome. It's like Washington crossing the Delaware. It's like the signing of Declaration of Independence. It's a one-in-a-lifetime moment for the city of Philadelphia. It's historic.
When you see that, and I saw that Jeffrey Lurie blew a kiss to Eagles fans.
I felt it. Yeah, I felt it. Yeah.
It really shows how much they care about the fans as well.
They do.
Right?
Yes, they do. After all, we're paying their bills.
When you saw them walking over here, what was that feeling like with everybody around?
It was tremendous. You know, it's the best feeling you could ever have. It's the Super Bowl. We won it.
There's only about 200 or so people that were around to witness this. Really a remarkable sight that is once in a lifetime.
Yes, it is. It's a once in a lifetime experience, and that's why I am here.
And you said that poem earlier to us. Very moving, of course. What is your message, if you have a quick message for the Eagles?
Well, every game, I say a poem as a prayer. It's called Birds of Prey. Let me give it to you real quick.
No, I just need a quick rundown of it.
Praying for a win. Those lone hungry eagles sit high on a perch with a look so regal.
Mike, they are on the highest perch right now. They are on the mountaintop. It really is a great feeling. Mike, can we get a Eagles chant for the people back at the station? All right, 3, 2, 1. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Go Birds, baby!
It's so amazing to hear people talk about, the thrill of a lifetime when you think about how diehard fans we are. And for decades, we were hoping, right? Like we were going to the Super Bowl. In 2005, we went. We lost. Wah, wah, wah. That was so hard, right? And then in 2018, you and I were there together.
Yes, we were in Minneapolis.
And it was unbelievable. I mean, just to be there, because again, until we got to this dynasty stretch, we were not a team that went to the Super Bowl.
No, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, tough.
Right. And now that we've gone, and we went, we won. We went, we didn't win. We went, we won. I say next year we go, we win again.
Right. Remember last time when we were in Minneapolis and we ran out on the field, and a lot of people were watching the images of the family members on the field last night with the confetti coming down, finally the green confetti instead of that Kansas City red confetti from 2 years ago. So to see those players after such a difficult season, fighting through all of these injuries, all of those athletes, whenever you get to the end of the season, a lot of them fighting through it. And then to be able to exhale and breathe that sigh of relief and hug their loved ones and have the color confetti you want coming down on your head.
It is a beautiful sight when you see their family members out there and the small children with their little headgear on so that they don't get hurt by the loud noises. For viewers who don't know, the family members line up, and Jackie and I were with them in 2018. They line up in the chute to go out right on the field so that as soon as the clock strikes 0, they can run out and be with their family members. And that's when it's all, all the confetti is raining down, and it's just a surreal, incredible experience. And then when we got to see all of them hugging, and, I know that they were focused and they thought they knew that they could do it. But again, did anyone think it was going to be this decisive?
Not at all.
As the Philadelphia Inquirer front page, big easy, it looked easy.
They did make it look easy. And then one of the favorite moments from the game when you see Patrick Mahomes pouting. Could not believe that this was happening.
Pouting.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
a third grader pouting, like a big lip pouting. What was that?
It was. And then Travis Kelsey grabbing his head. It seemed like they really thought they were going to run away with this and were shocked at how the Eagles performed last night. They hadn't played against them all season, but yeah, they had a rude awakening.
They didn't see that coming. Although, to be fair, we all thought it was just going to be a close one. In fact, I texted Mike Tirico from NBC Sports at halftime, and I said, "Who saw this coming?" And he said, "No one."
At all.
I mean, yeah.
And John Clark was in the locker room with everyone last night when the champagne was flowing and everyone had the goggles on. They were blasting the music. And John Clark, in that moment, was talking to Jeffrey Lurie about Jalen Hurts and what it was like getting Jalen and why he wanted Jalen. And Jeffrey Lurie said, I was obsessed with getting Jalen. We were obsessed about it. And boy, what a good obsession, how that paid off in a huge way. And he also said, we have the best fans in the world, which we know.
Yes.
And also the best team. I mean, the defense was so strong.
Yep.
Their offense, they had so many parts that were excellent and proved that last night. So it's beautiful to see. If you're just tuning in now, the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles have touched down at Atlantic Aviation at that airport. And there were at least 100 fans gathered to welcome them. And it was really nice to see. This setup this year is different from what it was in 2018. Then the fans were closer to the plane, and it was automatic that the players would walk over and greet the fans. But this time today, it was a choice. And the athletes made the choice. Now we're going to walk over to our fans and say thank you to them. And while they're there to welcome us,
leadership too.
Yes,
right. The
Howie
coach
Roseman,
and Howie Roseman,
Sirianni, Jeffrey
Lurie,
Lurie,
yep,
hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. So that says a lot about the class act and what the athletes valued as well, how much they value the support from our Eagles fan base.
Those buses will now get a police escort to the NovaCare complex. You're talking about the offense. I heard Jalen Hurts, I think today, he spoke last night and I think he spoke again today. And he said, offense wins games, but defense wins championships. And he says, our defense played their, you know what's off. And they really, really did. I mean, have you seen a team at all stop Mahomes like they did?
No, sack after sack after sack. And great to see, speaking of the defense, Brandon Graham back in there. Who would have thought after that tricep injury in October, and we all thought he was out. We didn't know if we would ever see him play again. And when he was cleared for practice a few days ago, and we knew, he really is going to be able to play in the Super Bowl. And John was talking to him in the locker room last night as well. And he was just so happy to be able to have two rings, 2 Super Bowl championships. Brandon Graham has the one from 2018 and this one. So really extra special, makes this one sweeter than ever.
Well, and they when Sirianni was with BG, he said, we kept counting the number of sacks. That's one, which is kind of funny because I'm sure, I don't know, we're all kind of superstitious. I don't know if you want to go hard on that in the beginning because you don't know the outcome, right? But you're like, oh, well, that's one. Well, that's 2. And they just kept going. It was good.
And there were so many beautiful moments in the beginning, too, when Bradley Cooper walked out with Declan. We, of course, featured Declan, sweet little boy, and he was given the option whether he wants $1,000 or whether he wants a little toy, and to choose the toy and not the money, and then giving the money out to other people.
Right, because then they gave him the money because he chose the toy because he loves the Eagles so much. And then he went out and he helped people pay for what they were buying at that store where he was given the choice, and he was given the championship tickets to that.
Such generosity. And Bradley Cooper, huge Eagles fan, and we always see him in the suite. And a few years ago, he was asked by Howard Stern, would you rather have an Oscar for being Best Director and Best Actor?
I remember that.
Or would you rather see, or would you rather see the Eagles win a Super Bowl? He said, without skipping a beat, I'd rather them win the Super Bowl. And everyone's like, what? He said, I know I'm crazy.
Well, we are all crazy. That's what makes us Philadelphia fans.
Right. Now you see the buses going away and the caravan, they're headed to the NovaCare complex, I believe.
And we have live cameras there as well. And oh, yes, there is a big fan base there, a big group of fans waiting to receive them there as well. So they will get the same kind of love, welcoming love.
Nice to see such a huge contingency of people who turned out. And last night, where there were some issues here in Philadelphia, for the most part, it was a peaceful celebration, and people poured onto Frankfurt and Cutman, onto Broad Street, and they just wanted to celebrate with strangers and with their family and friends. And when you just looked at those overhead shots that we had from Skyforce 10 last night, the sea of people and the massive sea of green, and the people who turned out here today at Atlantic Aviation to welcome the Eagles, and of course what we'll see on Friday with the parade.
It's true, and I think that people who aren't Eagles fans don't understand. And I heard somebody say that today. They said, if you're not an Eagles fan, you don't get it. You don't get it. Or people who are new to this town. We don't get it. What do? You go out on the streets and you celebrate? Yes, we do. At that moment, we are one city. We are one family. We don't care what you do for a living. We don't care any of the differences that we have. At that moment, we are one Philadelphia, and we are all fans. And if one person starts the Eagles chant, everybody jumps in. If one person starts the song, everybody jumps in, and everybody takes care of one another. It's terrible because I'm sure it's very illegal, but at least here's the good news. Mayor Parker, nobody climbed a pole. They just took the poles. So there's that. But
just a little variation on it. But you can see everything. But that, I would put Philadelphia's celebration up against any other city in America in terms of, like you said, the way we unite and the way we're unified and the way we celebrate and the passion we have for our fans.
Right.
I mean, case in point today, everything that we're seeing and everything we saw last night. You can see right there all of the buses that are headed to the NovaCare complex after landing at the airport. Welcome home, Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl championship, Philadelphia Eagles.
And our live team coverage continues on NBC 10 News at 5.
NBC 10 News starts now.
Touchdown, 1, 2, 3, 3. In a row, in a mind. Watch our Eagles fly.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Get ready for an epic parade on Broad Street on Valentine's Day.
Shout out to everybody back in Philly. We couldn't do without you guys. Much love.
Able to do that last night, it's kind of all everything kind of coming together as one, as the final celebration. We'll have the parade, we'll have the ring ceremony and everything like that, but that was pretty special.
Philly special indeed. Super Bowl 59 MVP Jalen Hurts delivered the City of Brotherly Love a second Lombardi trophy. First at 5, the Eagles have landed in Philadelphia. The new Super Bowl champions officially touched down at the airport about a half hour ago with the Lombardi trophy in hand. They are still riding high from defeating the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl last night. There was a crowd of passionate Eagles fans waiting to cheer them on as they got off the plane. Thanks for joining us on NBC 10 News at 5. I'm Johnny Archer.
I'm Tracy Davidson. This win brings home the team's second ever Lombardi trophy to Philadelphia, and we have team coverage on everything Eagles, from their Super Bowl win to the passionate fans to what's next for the team as they return to Philadelphia. We begin with NBC 10's Yukari Nakayama. She is live at Philly International. She has been talking with Eagles fans who are just arriving home from New Orleans. Yukari?
Yeah, well, Johnny, Tracy, you guys just missed it. There was a sea of green here at Carousel 4 with lots of fans coming back from New Orleans. But the ones I spoke to earlier today, they tell me that despite getting no sleep last night, they were still cheering on the Eagles on their flight back home. And they tell me the celebrations are far from over.
Eagles!
That's the chant that keeps on giving. Despite little to no sleep, that Super Bowl high kept these fans alive.
Oh, we were chanting. We were singing. Some people were a little drowsy, but when we landed, we started singing the Eagles chant. And it was a really special moment.
This was the best flight ever. Everyone was lively. Even at 7 in the morning, they didn't need coffee. They were ready to get back to Philadelphia to help celebrate.
Corey Hasman and his family are still reminiscing from that win. All were there for the Super Bowl, cheering on the Birds on Sunday.
We were celebrating the whole fourth quarter. There was no blood pressure issues, no cardiac issues. This was a win that we completely dominated from start to finish, and it really felt good.
That victory even sweeter for fans coming back home as the Eagles got their redemption from their loss in 2022 against the Chiefs.
After what happened in Super Bowl 57, definitely feels good to get revenge.
I'm feeling elated, excited. We kicked her, you know what? There was never a doubt in that game.
The Philadelphia International Airport is expecting 19 flights from New Orleans throughout the day, welcoming back the majority of Eagles fans who traveled for the Super Bowl. Eagles fan Shalaka Watson saying the Birds took the Lombardi Trophy home for her birthday.
My 50th birthday, so the Eagles brought it. They brought it home for me. Like it was crazy.
Shalaka celebrating that win with family at the Superdome, taking some of that Super Bowl confetti back home with her. These fans are ready for what's to come on Friday.
I can't wait to hang off a sanitation truck with my friends.
Work just take me off the schedule. I'm not going to be able to do nothing but scream for the Eagles. Yeah, I don't care how cold it is outside. I'm being outside.
And the Eagles parade has been confirmed for Friday. I'm told that more fans are expected to return home tomorrow here at the Philadelphia International Airport. Yukari Nakayama, NBC 10 News.
I love seeing that confetti. That is gold.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone wants some of that
For
because
sure.
it's just like it's history right there. Yukari, thanks. Well, after landing at the airport, Birds are on their way to the NovaCare complex, and they'll be greeted by a crowd of fans welcoming them back. That's where we find NBC 10's Aaron Baskerville. Aaron?
Johnny and Tracy, I think we've timed this out maybe perfectly right now. We're outside of the NovaCare facility in South Philadelphia, and as you can see down there, they are getting that police escort. We saw a couple of motorcycles going to the facility. We told that they just came over the bridge, and now it looks like they're coming down Pattinson right now. There is a huge crowd out here. They shut down behind me for this arrival. We heard what happened when they were over there at the airport and showing the Lombardi Trophy and people getting a kind of an up-close glimpse of that. We're right here just to take a look at the crowd here as they await this arrival so eagerly. They've been out here since about 2 o'clock or so. Some folks with their chairs, their small kids, generations of families out here ready to see this as you can hear them erupting behind me. What is this like, man?
Oh, this is amazing, man. I can't get better than anything else. I love it, man. I love it. I love it.
The crowd is unbelievable out here, too.
It's crazy, man. I just came from the airport, ran over here to catch my birds again.
Oh, did you see the Lombardi Trophy over there?
I got pictures and everything. I love it.
Oh, wow. So you can hear that guy just was at the airport, and now he ran over here for this. I'm going to be quiet for a half of a second, let this soak in just a little bit. So just an unbelievable scene here right now as these buses pull into their practice facility. Obviously, no, this is months and months and months of hard work and dedication, and it all ends in the second Super Bowl victory for the Eagles. And these fans are letting them know how much this victory last night means to them, how much they care about this team. It's like their life if we haven't figured that out already. The chants are going, people are crying, people are traveling from great distances. We talked to someone from North Carolina that is out here in this crowd, and of course they are hoping, just hoping that maybe one of these players comes out and says hello to them, greets them, and should I say, even has that trophy with them in hand. But as you can see, they have just arrived in there right now. We do have some sound from earlier. Let's go to that when we just talked to someone about how important an Eagles victory is to them.
The Eagles mean a lot to the city, man. It's like the lifeblood, you know what I mean? I was raised, my father just really just raised me up in this. Unfortunately, he passed during the Rams game while I was out in LA. So this was always our thing. So just to be here and how he raised me, and just, you know, they got one for my pops, so I'm ecstatic.
Yeah, right there. That just shows how much this means to people. He lost his father earlier this year. He told me before every playoff game that he look up to the heavens and say a prayer for his pops, and then also hoping for an Eagles victory. Of course, they did it. They came through. But take a look right now. This is what you want to see, right? These are all these folks that came out here.
Hey, Air Baskerville!
Let me hear it.
EAGLES, Eagles!
There we go, man. It's soak it all in. You know, I know, dare I say, we're getting used to this, being in the Super Bowl 3 different times since 2018 and having 2 victories, but each time is sweeter than the last. And of course, they're already talking about run it back, run it back. They want another one right away. So hopefully they'll be able to run it back next year. And these folks will have something to talk about for years and years to come as the bus and the team is here. And we'll see if there's any special appearances coming up in a little while. Let's send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Aaron, and you saw that police escort of the team heading from the airport back to the NovaCare complex, and just hundreds of fans just showing their appreciation. And I think that was a great interview that you had with that gentleman, Aaron, in talking about how much this means to him. It's more than just sports. This is about family. This is about unity. It's about camaraderie. It's about bringing people together and enjoying something together, and how much this team really means to these fans.
And this is so special. So this is happening on the other side of the buses from where Aaron is, where the players are all getting off and going into the NovaCare complex. You have to imagine there was not much sleep last night.
Absolutely not.
There were party after party after party, and celebrating with the family who were with them. And now they're home and they get to exhale, but I can't imagine how wonderful it must be. You're exhausted. You have done something that you probably are still pinching yourself. And then you see all of these fans lined up to cheer you, to say thank you. And they're just so excited.
Yeah, but this team earned it. And talking about staying up late night, I don't know how Jordan Mailata woke up this morning to be on the Today Show.
Yes,
and congrats to him being the first Australian to win a Super Bowl championship. But this team has absolutely earned it. This is a team of brothers who came together and fought tooth and nail this whole entire season for each other, not for themselves individually, but as a team collectively. And they certainly did a fantastic job this season. And last night was the icing on the cake.
And certainly faced adversity last year, right? And they have all talked about it in their news conferences last night and today about how that sort of shaped them for this year. And then, of course, it's all sort of a joke with us Eagles fans talking about Saquon Barkley. Sorry, Giants.
Yeah,
but
sorry, New York.
But it's more than the fact that he is an extraordinary athlete, right? It's coaching. It's putting the whole team together.
Right.
Oh, wait, look at that. They're taking pictures with it.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, who wouldn't take a picture with the Lombardi Trophy? Wait, how about me? I want to take a picture.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. Special moment. And just to think that it was 7 years ago that we had a Super Bowl win. So that's pretty impressive for an organization to win 2 Super Bowls in just 7 seasons. I mean, that's something truly special. And congrats to Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie and the whole organization for putting this together and putting such a great squad together. But an incredible moment in Philadelphia history.
Well, hopefully they'll all get some time to rest, celebrate with their family who weren't with them, and then let's get ready for a big party in Philadelphia on Friday.
It's coming.
So we can check off an Eagles Super Bowl win. Next step, that parade coming up on Friday for the world champions.
Yeah, we are learning that celebration will be held on Friday, which is also Valentine's Day.
So perfect.
Yeah, so perfect. And we're expected to get more details about the time and the exact route tomorrow. Remember this? This is a video from at Parade 7 years ago that we're just talking about. The Birds beat the Patriots in Super Bowl 52. The parade made its way from the sports complex in South Philadelphia up Broad Street towards City Hall and eventually ending in front of the Art Museum.
Well, all those fans that we saw were completely decked out in all their green. And as an Eagles fan, you can never have too much green. And the Eagles Super Bowl victory has fans flocking to stores to upgrade their Birds wardrobe. Like they need more.
Of
you
course.
Have a champion, oh, you need more.
Of course you need more. And they're marking the occasion by buying new gear to support the new Super Bowl champions. We'll head inside one of the pro shops to show you the new merch they're grabbing.
And getting your tax refund early, you might see ads offering you your money in only a couple of days, but it does come at a cost. Today on NBC 10 Response, we'll take a closer look at what you need to know this tax season.